All right, who's the prosecutor on Jeffrey Patrick Smith? All right, so do you have all the discovery?
We do, Your Honor.
Okay,
We need a plea deadline date.
all right. And if y'all can do an acknowledgement of discovery? And sir, how old are you?
51.
Okay. Norma, if you give the plea deadline date for this, the week of July 14th,
July 14th?
the week of, you wanted July 14th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you'll be back here on July 14th. On that date, you need to let the court know whether or not you've reached an agreement with the state. If you have not, the next setting will be a trial setting. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Just have a seat. They'll bring a reset form to you. Once you sign it, you're excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And counsel, if you make sure not to leave until you sign the acknowledgement of discovery.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sure. All right, so where are we on discovery?
There's 26 items, Your Honor, so some stuff's missing. The state's going to look into that. And my understanding is we'll do their best to upload it by the next setting.
All right. Let me see. And there are how many co-defendants on this?
There are 3, I believe.
All right, Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
your final discovery date is going to be the first week in August. So that should give everybody a time. And I'm putting it during that time frame because I know we have the holiday coming up. All right, first week of August, 4th for discovery, please.
You can do that August 4th.
Okay, that will be your final discovery date. And if there's an issue with discovery, I'll need to know what specific items there are issues with.
Yes, Your
Well, from me, Judge, because how would I even know it?
I'm telling the
The
state
state,
that,
sorry.
yes. All right, is there anything else?
No, I mean, other than that, no.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you very
All
much.
right,
Your Honor.
thank you.
Good to see you.
You too.
You can have a seat, Sergeant. He'll take you your reset. Thank you.
And defense has filed a motion to suppress, general motion to suppress. So after that discovery date, if they want it heard, we'll hear that.
Good morning,
Good
y'all.
morning, how's everything going?
So far, so good, man.
I always tell people, don't say so far so good, because then you're opening up the atmosphere for something to go south. How's the work?
Yeah, pretty good. Still working on the same place, and a few weeks ago, I got another race,
You got what?
a race.
Oh, that is so awesome. Isn't it nice when you get extra money? But don't go spending it all in one place. That's what they would always say. So any other issues?
No, ma'am, everything's good.
All right, anything you need from the court?
Well, first, I want to say thank you for allowing me to visit Mexico in April. I really want to see my family, and I got the chance to do that.
Oh, that is so awesome. I'm glad everything went well.
Yes, ma'am. I went for a week, and I spent it with my family in Mexico, and I wanted to say if I can get another chance to visit in Mexico, just one weekend in August the 1st.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just stay in communication with your probation officer. And I always tell people, whether you get to go or not, it's completely up to you. And when I say it's completely up to you, it's your actions determine whether or not I'll allow you to go. But probation, he's been doing well.
Yes, Judge, there are no concerns. All of his UAs have been negative. He's completed his classes. He's up to date with his fees. We don't have any issues or any concerns with him.
Awesome. So just let probation know whenever you want to go, and then they'll send it to me and I'll sign it so you can go.
It sounds good, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm going to have to work on my Spanish. You know, they say you need to be dropped in a location where nobody will speak English to you, then you will learn. So maybe I need to be dropped in Mexico.
Maybe.
Yeah. One of my friends she decided to go to Mexico. She's enjoying the best of her life. She's like, Stephanie, I'm just walking around, stopping at stalls, doing things, eating. She's like, it's fantastic. So I'm gonna have to go, where should I go in Mexico?
Well, there's not many things. The place I go is in Jalisco, Guadalajara. That's where my friends live and used to live like a few years when I was a kid, you know that?
Mhm.
You can visit or like a beach in Cancun or anything like that, or maybe close here in Monterrey.
When I go, I'm gonna say, hey, do you know the Aceves? Because those are my people. So I think I'm just gonna be welcome.
Yeah.
All right, is there anything else we need to do? All right, well, I will tell you this, continue the good work. And once you're eligible and your attorney files for it, I'll consider early termination,
Okay.
okay?
Mhm.
And whether or not I grant it, completely up to you, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you.
You too. Thank you.
Oh, Bashan, do we need another check-in date? Maybe late? Because you want to go to Mexico in August?
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to do like maybe September? Okay. All right. So it's a good date for you in September.
Any day, Your Honor.
Norma? If I can have an update for him, the end of September,
Yes.
or we can do October.
I think it's September's fine.
Okay,
I can do the 29th with Bridget.
all right. The 29th is a Monday, the 30th is a Tuesday.
Or, I think on Mondays.
Okay, all right. And then I'll make sure we take you up first thing on Monday so you can make sure you continue to get your pay raises.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. Thank you for dressing appropriate for court. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Let's hear on David Lopez.
I am, Your Honor.
Thank you.
May we approach?
Yes, and if you have Mr. Lopez come up, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so did you provide the drive for them to obtain everything?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson. Put this for the end of July for final discovery,
Yes.
and it's David Edward Lopez.
Yes.
How's it going?
28th for the first.
There's 160,000 David Lopez's.
Yeah, so you said what date?
I can either do the 28th or the 31st.
And this is for a final consultation because I did provide them with a disc. I have received a lot of discovery. There are a few therapists and counselors that I need to talk to. I put in a motion for an investigator today. I was wondering if, once it's filed, if I could approach on that.
Oh, sure. If you have it with you now, I'll sign it.
I don't. It's being filed as we speak.
Okay,
I apologize, Judge.
So-
And also, on the indictment, I think the state is looking into it. My client kind of alluded to, there are multiple David Lopez's. There's a guy with a different SID number, different date of birth, different individual. That's not my guy.
Oh.
How it went through indictment, I have no idea.
yeah,
And just to be clear, that is for an enhancement allegation, not the indictment.
all right. So she's saying July 29th or the 31st.
To July 29th, please, Your Honor.
All right, just have a seat. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Your
Thank you.
Honor.
You're welcome. Who is here on Gabriel Antonio Sosa? And are you all ready to proceed on the motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if you have them come up. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 9149 State versus Gabriel Antonio Sosa. Could I have parties announced?
State.
Attorney Bilton for dissent.
And are you Mr. Sosa?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I did, yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Gabriel Antonio Sosa who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 9149 for the offense of, it should be possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams?
Yes, ma'am.
They've listed as manufacturing and delivering in the motion. So state, do you wish to change it to possession with intent to deliver so that it can track the judgment?
Yes, Judge.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, So are you the same Gabriel Antonio Sosa who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 9149 for the offense of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, penalty group 1 to 4 grams, on or about on the 9th day of November 2023 for a period of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state, you may proceed.
In Bear County, Texas, the defendant Gabriel Antonio Sosa did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of March and April of 2025 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State waives the remaining violation allegation.
No objection.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Judge, denied the motion, alternate amendments requires state ISF cognitive followed by 6 months sober living post state ISF.
All right, you want to raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Gabriel Sosa,
All right, so why are you not reporting?
just overwhelmed.
All right, why were you overwhelmed?
Just a lot of things that going through my mind.
What are these things?
Parents, kids, everything. A lot of things just overwhelming.
All right, so what I'm reading in the violation report is that he was released from DDRF and then he didn't comply with his mental health officer.
I reported for like 4 times.
Mhm.
I reported for November, December, January, and February.
They're saying that you haven't been compliant with your mental health treatment either.
I was taking my pills and going to the psychiatrist. That was. Maybe they're saying that because I stopped reporting, but while I was reporting, I was complying.
Well, no, they're the same. It says Mr. Sosa has not been seen by probation since February 28, 2025. And per the Center for Healthcare Services, they have not been able to find him since around the same time.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been drinking excessively. So you've been acting as though you're not on probation. And I don't know if ISF is appropriate for him because he has mental health issues.
Your Honor, if I may, in my consultations with Mr. Sosa, I think maybe unpacking the idea of being overwhelmed, and he was clearly admonished that the court would not be too open to that argument, but understanding he was in custody waiting on a bed for DDRF for 6 months. That's just how that
Yeah.
works. There were some issues that developed around his family and those obligations at that time. Then when he got to DDRF, he was compliant for a time. Then they released him again. He was reporting. He did come off the wagon, but what I can tell the court is that one of the first things he mentioned to me when I mentioned these issues was that he understands that he messed up and that he recognizes that part and parcel to his mental health issues is an addiction issue as it relates to alcohol. He wants to get that fixed in terms of the recommendation from probation and that the state's in agreement with, and that I told him that that's what, and that he's in agreement with, is that he does need some of those cognitive tools to continue to recognize that the court is well within its bounds to sentence him to 20 years on this. But that's not why he wants to change. He wants to change for his family. His family is also referenced in the report where they had mentioned that he was having some issues with drinking. A big part of that is his openness with them and his wanting help for that. We would also point the court in the direction that it wasn't, we understand that the safe, if he hadn't been reporting for multiple months or for years, that's the thing, but he was picked up. I mean, his last time that he had contact with them was February. He has been in custody for over a month now. So basically, again, with no excuses being given, he was basically in the wind for about, my calculations, of course, not a math major, about 6 weeks. He is here today, contrite, asking the court to give consideration to the recommendation from probation. He understands that while he may not be deserving of a second chance. A lot of us are not worthy of second chances, but he is asking the court for another chance. But with DDRF, all of those things that were given to him, his medications, that's kind of yielded to that overwhelming feeling. I think really the feeling that he was really describing was probably one of desperation, not knowing what to do with the things going through his mind. The court's also aware with DDRF and with medications prior to DDRF, you were prescribed some new medications. Is that correct?
All right, so here's my question. My question is whether or not ISF is appropriate for him. He has mental health issues and he is currently in the throes of his addiction.
Judge, I believe what probation's, the train of thought there was, if we can get the substance use under control first. And they do have a cognitive aspect to it. I think state ISF would be the best place right now.
All right, and that's state ISF for drug as well as
Yes,
cognitive?
cognitive and substance.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, Judge.
All right, Mr. Sosa, I'm gonna give you a choice. And these are your only two choices. Don't ask for a third because there are only two choices. One, I can deny the motion, alternate mean conditions. You'll be in custody until ISF comes and takes you and transfer you to their facility. Or I can revoke you and I'll sentence you to 3 years in the prison. And you receive credit for any time that you've been in custody. Which do you prefer?
Can I refer? Can I
Sure.
talk to
And Your Honor, if he were to take option 2, given that he successfully completed DDRF, that would count towards his time.
Yes. And Bashan, any updates on BTC?
Judge, they were just parking, a minute ago.
Okay, awesome. Christina? Christine, hey, BTC should be down in a moment. They were just parking. All right, thanks. Yes.
Your Honor, given all the circumstances, he would give consideration to the court's offer of option B.
So you want to be revoked?
I can do the 3 years?
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court is finding violation of condition number 2 true. The court will find you guilty. The court will revoke, sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. The court will request the therapeutic community. And the court will give you credit for any time served and inpatient treatment, which legally I'm obligated to do. All right, are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
I did.
All right, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You sort of chose the easy way out, which I understand, because you know yourself better than your attorney knows you, better than I know you. But one or two things are going to end up happening to you if you stay on the track that you're on. You're either going to end up spending the rest of your life in somebody's prison, or either somebody's going to end up having to identify your body because you've obtained some bad drugs. There are plenty of free places where you can get help for your mental health issues and also for your drug issues. Once you're released from custody, if you can't find a place, let me know. If I'm here, I'll find a place for you. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Maybe excuse, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Larrietta Holmes. Hello. Oh, so here's the thing. When someone says hello, there's usually a response back. So let me just tell you what's going on. You're being rude and disrespectful to your probation officer. You act like you're not on probation. When I say there's to be no contact, there's to be no contact. And now you're using profanity towards probation officer like you're not on probation and that this is somehow his fault. It is not. It's all your fault. You're here because you're on deferred adjudication for injuring someone who's an elderly person. That's why you're here. You're not on probation because he placed you on probation. You're not on probation because he committed a crime and you're taking the time for him. You're here because of your actions and you're acting as though none of this is your fault. This is all your fault, 100%.
I'm not acting like none of it's my fault, and I take accountability for what I've done.
No, you have not taken accountability. Did you take accountability for using profanity towards him? No.
No, I didn't.
And I don't know why people think that when you're in a situation where you should be using logic to find what are using your cognitive skills to decide how I'm going to proceed with this, instead, you go after your probation officer. And the probation officer, let's be honest, every defense attorney will tell you a probation officer holds your life in their hands because you know what? Let's say you're supposed to report to probation at 9 a.m. and you end up reporting at 9:05. Guess what? You have not reported at 9 a.m. A probation officer could say, hey, that's a no report. But sometimes they may take sympathy on you and say, I realize what's going on. They're here, but they don't have to do that.
Yes.
And you using profanity towards a probation officer is not helping your case at all.
And I understand that. And the reason why I did, and I didn't, I just said the F word because he called me a liar. And when I didn't lie to him about any situation that was going on, I sent them all the information from my legal aid lawyer. I sent them everything. He even gave me his personal number for me to contact him. When I had to go to the emergency room and had to get a blood transfusion, he even offered to take me there. He called.
This is not your blood. This is not about your blood.
I know it's not about my blood, but it's he basically, when I went to go see him, he was telling me that I lied to him, which I never lied to him about anything.
No. This starts with you wanting to go to a location where I said you are not allowed to have contact. That's where all of this came up. Then everything snowballs into something else.
Yes, ma'am. And I did exactly what you told me to. I didn't go to that location. I filed my police reports. I did everything that I could do without going to that location.
All right, so then that was it. I don't know, what do you expect him to do? Like, I like for people to just put their cards on their table. Sometimes people are like, judge, but I like everybody to have an understanding. So you go to him because you want to go to a location and retrieve items when I told you couldn't go to that location. So we're back to the point. What did you want him to do?
I asked him, was there any assistance or any way that I could? He told me, I don't know.
Mhm.
He told me he didn't know, he couldn't help me. So I didn't have no other choice but to call the police, make a police report. I had my daughter, she's 16 years old, to go there. When she went there, she took pictures of everything that was outside.
All right, so again, what did you want him to do? He said, hey, I don't know, there's nothing I can do for you.
When I contacted Miss Adams, she told me to ask my probationer if there's any assistance that he can help me or provide without going to that location.
And he's saying no.
And he said no. And I told him I don't have no other choice. My children is 16 and 18. They didn't have the money. They don't have money for you all. My daughter just quit her job because no one was able to take her to work. So I didn't have nobody else to help me get
So
anything.
again, I don't know how this translates into you using profanity against him. He's like, I can't help you. And honestly, it's not his job to help you get your things. Really, you know what a probation officer's job really is? And they'll correct me if I'm wrong, but their job is to make sure that you abide by your conditions. Everything else that they're doing is just extra, but that's not their job. It's not, for example, if you can't pay your utilities, it's not their job to find places for you to pay utilities. They'll do it. They'll say, here's some places that you can call. But that's not his job. And if he tells you, I can't help you with getting your things, again, we're back to the point. He says, I can't help you. So what do you want him to do? He's like, I can't help you.
And
How does that translate into using profanity against him? And then telling him, sending him an email, telling him all this is his fault and it's on his shoulders. It's not. All of this happened because of you. Guess what? You can't go to that location because you injured an elderly person. That's why it's all your fault. And there are consequences for all our actions.
It is, and I communicated with him. I told him everything. I sent every case number. I even sent him my legal aid information. I sent everything. I tried to do everything the right way before it even went out of hand.
But see, here's what you don't understand, and you're not internalizing what I'm saying. He is telling you, I can't help you with that. And you still keep going back to him. He's already told you, I can't help you with that. Giving him numbers to your legal aid, giving him numbers to this person saying, we're trying to help her get her things. He can't help you with that. His whole role is to supervise you on probation. That's it. He can't say, you know what I'm going to do? I tell you what, let me go over there and get your things for you. He can't do that. That's not his job. Now, if he offers to do that, great, but he doesn't have to. He has told you more than once, I cannot help you with that. I still don't understand how that goes and translates into you using profanity against him. His job is hard as it is. And then to have somebody come in and use profanity against them, that's an issue. And then to have you go into that location when you know you're not supposed to, that's an
I
issue.
never did go to the location. I didn't. I had to call the police for a different location. To make
All right, so you called the police and then what happened?
I made the police report. I went down to the property. I also went down to 315, the headquarters, to fill out all the information because the day I was arrested, everything was stolen. My car, my credit cards, everything. So I'm trying to do everything that I have to do the best way that I can, the right way.
All right, the right way is not using profanity against your probation officer. That's not the right way. The right way is not being disrespectful. And you know what? This whole thing with the injury to the elderly, where I ordered anger management, you do have an anger problem. Because when people tell you no, you can't accept that, you take it to 100. He said, I can't help you with that. And then you use profanity against him. You're calling him all sorts of names. Nobody likes to be called out there, give a name.
I didn't call him out his name. I just said it was fine. I didn't have no other choice. So I would have to figure it out.
No, we're not here because you said it was just fine. Where is the officer? If you could come forward, please. All right, so you're Officer Wolf?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Are you able to go to her former location and get her items for her? No,
No, ma'am.
that's your answer, no. Are you able to file a police report for her so she can get her items?
No, ma'am.
So he can't do that. So what do you want from him?
I have to do it on my own. So if there's nothing he can help me with, and then that's
Well, see, that's the thing. Now, when you're before me and you're looking at potentially going to prison, now you're like, oh, well, he can't help me with that. He's told you that. Be an adult, solve your own problems. This is supposed to be problem solving. That's why you're on probation, for anger management issues, because you can't problem solve. I don't know, maybe you never were taught to problem solve, but if he's telling you, no, he can't do that, that's not in his job description, then there's no need to use profanity against him. He's told you, I can't do it.
Judge, if I could.
Yes.
Speak for a minute. Throughout my time working with Ms. Holmes, it's been pretty apparent that she has a pattern of not taking responsibility or accountability for her behavior. This last incident just kind of made it painfully obvious how there's a deeper issue.
Mhm.
There's a heart issue. Until she can get her heart right, this pattern of behavior is going to continue for her throughout her life.
Mhm.
And she's going to continue to be a danger to herself, to the community, to her victim, everybody. She needs to get her heart right and realize that choices and actions have consequences, good and bad, intended and unintended, anticipated, unanticipated, and
until she gets her heart right and realizes that this is just gonna continue.
All right. Thank you so much. And
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you for coming down.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're gonna have to start using your cognitive skills and your problem solving. That's it. When somebody tells you they can't do something, then they can't do it. If somebody tells you, no, I can't take you to the grocery store today, figure it out. He is not really responsible for anything outside of his job description. If he does something outside of his job description, that's just probation officers being nice.
And I understand that, but why would you offer to try to help me when I'm asking for some type of help, and then you tell me you can't help me?
Yeah, he said no. Let me just tell you, here's a perfect example. And I've been in situations where people have told me no. And my thing is, I want you to not send me place to place. If the answer is no, just tell me no and I'll figure it out. He told you no. If I ask him right now, like for example, I had to rush here this morning because I don't like being late. And I was filling in for somebody else on another matter. And guess what? My tank is at a fourth. I don't like it being at a fourth. Now, would somebody go, excuse me, could you go and put gas in my car for me? They're going to say no. Now, what do I do with that? Do I use profanity against him? How dare you not go put gas in my car? He's just told me no. So guess what? As an adult, I got to figure it out. That's it. You got to figure it out. And your figuring it out is, let me get angry with somebody and use profanity against them. And maybe they'll then become so afraid of something and say, okay, we'll do that for you. Not his job. And I can tell you right now, if you don't start treating people with respect, one, you're not going to get anywhere, because when you disrespect people, they don't want to help you. And number two,
respect.
no, you did not. That's the thing. You're still in this clouds. Like these are not, I don't know how your relationships are outside of this world. But in this world, you need to treat people with respect, whether you respect them or not. Like right now, you can hate my guts all you want to, but you had better say your honor or judge. You understand? You better not be calling me out of my given name. And you better not be calling probation officers out of your given name. I'm sure he told you, no, I cannot help you. And when somebody says, no, I cannot help you with something, maybe you want to ask them again. You ask them again. If you ask the third time, you're begging. And he's already told you he can't help you with that. That is not his job. That is outside his job description. If he decides to help you outside of his job description, just him being nice. You need to figure it out. The same way people have children and you figured out how to have children, you need to figure out how to get the rest of your life together. You're on probation because of your actions. And honestly, the reports I received, I will tell you, when I received that report, I told them, file a motion to revoke. And then probation came to me and said, Judge, could we do a compliance hearing to have her come in? And I'm like, yeah, if you all want to do a compliance hearing, we will do a compliance hearing. So this is the last time I'm having this conversation with you, telling you, you need to be respectful to people and you need to learn how to problem solve. How old are you?
33.
You're 33-year-old. You figured out how to get all of those piercings, right? You figured out how to get the nails. You figured all of that out on your own. You need to figure this out on your own. Is there anything else you need from me?
No.
All right. Does she need to, when is her next report date? And are you employed?
You told me I had 30 days to find a job. I had a business, but all my stuff is gone.
All right. So that'll be a no. So Miss Ferguson,
Yeah.
Recall her for the week of August 11th. And I'm going to see how you're doing on probation. What date?
I can do that Monday, the 11th.
All right, so you're coming back on August 11th for me to get a report on what's going on. If you'll give her a reset form. Probation,
Yes, Judge.
when is her next report date with you?
It's not, I have an appointment set right now, from
Officer Wolf's information, she was supposed to be reporting.
He wrote on the paper, July 9th.
Twice a month.
July 9th?
That's what he wrote on the paper.
All right, so she said her next her next appointment date with him is July 9th. All right,
Have to confirm, Mr. Wolf was mentioning that the GPS is supposed to have been installed as well, but that she did not have it.
all right.
I don't have nowhere to stay, nor address.
It was ordered June 5th. And it was supposed to be done through work release waive the fees for partial for employment purposes only.
All right, so if you all could give her a list of places for her to find housing. And then we're gonna come back on August 11th, and by August 11th, you need to have the GPS on. All right, thank you. And the persons who are here for the VTC, please. And Norma, if you'll make sure she gets that reset form, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, she knows she's supposed to be here. All right, so on this case, yes.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
So the next date we have scheduled to review folders is gonna be July 31st. Only
Okay.
day after that, we should have an answer for it.
All right, so, and he'll be in for July 31st?
July 31st is when we're gonna review, Judge, so if you wanna bring him in that following Friday,
Mhm.
we should have an answer for by then.
Okay, all right, so you'll need to make sure that you keep in contact with him. You have their information?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you reset this for the, do y'all want to do it? Are y'all okay with doing it maybe the second week in August? No, that'll be
time, that may give you time to review in a second.
the week of August 11th. Is that good for you
That's
guys?
correct, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if I can have a reset date for the week of August 11th, please.
I can do August 12th.
August 12th, is that good for everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you.
Thank you, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, who's here on Liao? Advision Liao? Yes, counsel.
I received a plea offer this morning, Judge, from Mr. Garahan. We just need a plea deadline date from the court.
All right, sir, how old are you?
44.
All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
you set this for a plea deadline date the second week in July, please?
Yes. Keep July.
Is that a good date for you, counsel?
It should be, Judge.
All right, your plea deadline date will be July 10th. At that date, you need to let me know whether or not you've reached an agreement. If you have not, then your next setting will be a trial setting, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you so much. Just have a second. Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome. Who's on Ted Kalunga?
Right here, Judge.
All right, if you all would come up, please. So counsel, you have all of the discovery?
Not quite.
What's
And
missing?
I believe we're missing some medical. And I'm also provided discovery this morning to the DA. And they're gonna follow up on what I provided them. And that might resolve this case.
All right, what's the medical holdup?
I don't know. No, I think it's hospital records and there's a civil lawsuit going on, which I think is tied things up, Judge. I know there's a civil lawsuit.
Okay. Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
can you put this at the end of July for final discovery, please?
Yes, ma'am. I can do July 28th.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, that will be your final discovery once you sign the reset form, you excuse. Thank you. Hector Aguilar. All right, so you need a jury trial date?
No, Judge.
All right, where are we?
The state had not had contact with the complainant before. The complainant's been arrested and has been charged with another felony offense.
Okay.
So they have an opportunity to talk to him now.
Okay,
So I'd like a reset to give the state the opportunity to do that, but I'd like a short reset if possible.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you recall this in 2 weeks, please?
Yes, ma'am. Want to do July 10th or the July 15th?
July 10th or July 14th?
The 10th, Judge.
All right. We'll be back on July 10th to address any issues, and that will be your final discovery date.
Yes, Judge.
Hello, thank you. Hi, how's it going?
Good, and you, Judge?
All right, cannot complain.
Good seeing you, Judge.
You too.
You're right.
Who's here on Jonathan Dreamer?
That would be me.
How was the move?
Well, great until I got COVID.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I did not have a good week last night.
Oh my gosh, that is so.
Yeah, I've had it twice before. Didn't bother me a bit. I
Okay.
didn't leave my bed for 4 days.
Uh,
So he was on the docket last Monday.
Mhm.
We were here Monday and Tuesday with Angelini, and then when he went on the other case, he reset us. I am not in any good shape to try a case. I was just gonna ask for a couple weeks so I can try to recover. I didn't leave my bed for 4 days.
All righty. But is it the same as giving childbirth?
Oh, it's much worse, Judge. But don't tell my wife I said that.
I'm gonna tell her you said that. I'm gonna call her.
I'm gonna block your call.
Well, you know, I'm gonna go through Rachel.
What's much worse is a guy getting kidney stones, Judge.
Ah. All right, Norma, if you can set this in, let me see, this, in 3 weeks?
I'll be back up to speed. Thank you, Judge.
All right,
I can do, July 15th.
That's fine with me. That'll work.
all right. Your jury trial date is gonna be July 15th. Once
Thank
you
you,
sign
Judge.
the reset form, your excuse.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Who's here on Francisco Yanes? Francisco Yanes?
Oh, President Your Honor. Come on up, Mr. Giannis. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. How's it going?
Good, good. Morning, man.
Good morning. All right.
Judge, I want
So
to,
where are we on discovery?
we are good with discovery, Judge. I've conferred with the state. We are looking at a PTD situation.
Okay.
So we're gonna get proof to the state, start that process and get this case off your docket.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a PTD date on Yanes.
I can do, July 28th.
Done.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you excuse.
Just have a
Thank you.
I will more likely see this afternoon. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's just.
Mr. Howie, I know it's taking a while, but we're trying to move as quickly as possible.
Understandable, man.
All right, and so we're trying to find a placement for you. Your attorney is working on that. So he's asking that this come back, so we're gonna bring you back on Thursday.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll see you on Thursday, the 26th.
Okay.
Norma, can you put Mr. Howie down for the 26th?
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks. We're trying to get there. I'm trying to push as best I can. But I don't want to put you off for 2 weeks if we can get this done between now and then. Yeah.
All right, who is here on Edward Castillo?
And filled up.
All right, where's your client? And counsel, you're on this side.
Yes, Judge.
All right, have you had a chance to confer with the state?
Yes, Judge. We'd asked the court to set it for a plea bargain that deadline. Have received discovery as well.
Okay. How old are you, sir? All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Okay.
recall this for Thursday for a plea deadline date.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you back on Thursday. Once you sign the reset form, you are excused. Who is here on Christopher Amaya? All right, the court is calling 2025 CR 0045528 State versus Christopher Amaya. Can I have parties announced?
Robert Gana for the defendant.
All right, this hearing is scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:36 a.m. Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement?
Yes, Honor, I did. He is not out there.
All right, and have you had in contact with your client?
Judge Avery, we've had settings, so yes, I've had numerous settings with him here in court. Just now realized that he's no longer, at least in the Bear County jail, so.
All right. State?
We're requesting a judge's warrant, Your Honor.
All right, the court will issue a judge's warrant, remand your client without bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Who is here on John Anthony Martinez? Oh, Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
this is for you.
Go that way.
And you're asking for a bond?
Yes, actually, we've agreed an amount.
Okay. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 4455 State versus John Anthony Martinez. Could I have parties announce?
For the state of Texas. Raymond Martinez for Mr. Martinez.
And are you John Anthony Martinez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you were placed on deferred adjudication. I'm sorry, not deferred adjudication, regular probation for a terroristic threat of family or household. And there's been a motion to revoke filed. And counsel, you filed a request for a bond?
Yes, Judge. He picked up a case of reckless driving. He's otherwise in compliance with probation, and we're asking the court to set a bond so he can contest that new
All
charge.
right. So it appears you all agreed on a bond of $75,000.
Yes, it is. We did a little bit of discussion, Mr. Rackey.
All right, so why are we at $75,000?
Because that was the original amount on the ag assault. I agree it's high. If the court wants to make it lower, I'm not gonna object.
Well, no, I'm just wondering because he's on probation for Class A misdemeanor. And I understand that at one point it may have been something else, but the agreement was reached for it to be a Class A misdemeanor. So I don't understand a bond of 75,000. Well, I understand this is what you all have agreed to.
I think the state has certain guidelines that they follow, and usually they go back and start with the original bond. And I totally agree with your logic and reasoning. I felt the same way. However, my client's anxiousness to address this problem and to clear his warrants, whatever bond amount they gave us, we're willing to do. He needs to get back to work and go about his business.
All right, state, what is the reason behind the 75,000?
Actually, it was actually.
He had conferred with my trial partner, and I believe it was like he said that was the original amount in the case set for his bond, so I think that's why she agreed to that bond that Mr.
All right, so is there any type of history that would make $75,000 bond appropriate in a Class A misdemeanor? And I understand this is your agreement, but.
Well, Judge, in further explanation of the logic was that usually it goes higher than the original amount. So I think counsel was thinking, well, I won't go higher. I'll just leave it at the original. So. But there, other than that, no, there's no reason. Other than those informal guidelines of theirs.
I mean, for the court, it just seems high for a Class A misdemeanor. Now, if there's some reason other than the previous bond was for a felony and that's what it was set at.
That's
You
the
know.
only logic behind it, Judge.
The only other charge it looks like the honor that he has on his record is a class A misdemeanor for weapon back in 2021. Otherwise, he just has this current case and he's on probation.
And what happened with that case?
Came in as an ag assault, deadly weapon. and-
No, I mean the unlawfully carrying of a weapon. What happened to that case?
But he pled no contest in, excuse me, October 5th, 2021. I'm trying to pull up the.
Has your client ever failed to appear for court?
No, Your Honor, as a matter of fact, he came today to court knowing he had this warrant specifically to get the bond set, and he can't go to satellite because it's a family violence, so he's gonna have to spend the whole day at the jail until I can get him back out.
Probation? Mr. Martinez, has there been any allegations of any contact with the complainant?
And the case number was a 2024 CR 4455.
Yes.
Judge, I'm just gonna glance over. I don't see anything noted on the violation report that they submitted. I don't see anything on the documented chronos, but that is just a brief overview.
All right. All right, thank you. Has your client had any contact with the complainant?
No.
All right, this is what the court is gonna do. The court is gonna set your bond at $20,000. There's to be no driving, and there's to be 30 sober meetings in 30 days. And Ms. Ferguson,
Yes,
if
ma'am.
you recall this back in 10 days for a contested hearing, please.
Yes, ma'am. July 7th.
Is July 7th good for you?
That's fine, Judge, but on the issue of driving, Mr. Martinez works at a car wash and also details cars, so he's constantly on the road doing that.
Sorry. And let me just tell you, the reason why I do it, I don't take the allegations in the motion to revoke as true, right? But I do have to consider public safety. And part of the public safety issue is the reckless driving and the racing that's in here. I'm not saying I think it's true. I haven't received any information. It's similar to if you were to come before me and asking for a bond on an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I don't take that as true, but I always have to put in the no contact order with the complainant. And then your attorney will present whatever information he wants to present to change this, all right?
Judge, if the court was able to watch a video of the alleged incident, might that expedite your addressing that? He really needs to work.
Do y'all want to go forward with the hearing?
I don't have the video right this minute. I could certainly have it today.
All right, well, today would probably be too soon. If you'll speak with Ms. Ferguson.
Okay.
Yes. All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. Once you sign that, you're excused.
Well, actually, he's saying this to be judge.
Ah, yes, but she'll give you your reset form. And thanks for coming in, even knowing you had a warrant. Who's here on Janet Silva?
Roger. He's on the break.
Judge, Ms. Fears is also very familiar with this file.
Yes. Hi. So where are we?
Trying to find me a home.
I know, and how are we with
We're-
that?
So, we talked with ACOG and we're waiting for a determination of intellectual disability assessment.
Mhm.
They were saying it could take 1 to 2 months. However, I'm asking if they can expedite it. So I'm just waiting on that response. Also too, we were trying to get a hold of Ms. Silva's mother. We're unable to do that right now, so we're trying to see if we can find the contact information for the previous boarding home and see if she can return there.
Okay.
And if not, then she's provided me with some other boarding homes. I just need to figure out the contact information. But yeah, that's where we're at right now.
All right, how long do you think this will take?
I wish I could say,
All right, is there any way I can help? Is there somebody I can call?
you can try to find my
Oh, well, I can't do that much of an investigation work.
Well,
but-
I'm just tired of being stuck in jail, you know, I'm tired of it.
Well, and let me just tell you, the reason why is because you can be released, right?
Mhm.
And you get released, and then you know what's gonna end up happening? We're gonna be right back here.
Why hope to not ever get in trouble again? I learned my lesson. I just want to get time served for all this time going back and forth.
Mhm. All right, you'll need to speak to your attorney about that, okay?
Is there an option maybe just to Friday? We think maybe by Friday we can get a more concrete understanding of this situation regarding.
I can have her back on Thursday.
Okay.
I'm gonna request the same thing for Mr. Payne, actually.
He had mentioned that I had to get another test done.
Yes.
Is that today? He didn't-
Thursday would be fine, Judge.
But I'm gonna try to see.
All right, Norma, if you recall this for Thursday, please.
I'm gonna see if I can. Thursday?
Right, yes.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Payne could be called. She's familiar with Mr. Payne.
All right, we will bring Mr. Payne up.
Mr. Payne? Payne?
Hello, Mr. Payne.
Yeah,
How are you doing?
all right.
All right. So with Mr. Payne.
So he has a screening today with ACOG. this afternoon.
Okay,
And then they're gonna also, I'm sorry, it's tomorrow morning. They're gonna meet with his brother this afternoon.
okay,
So that way we can get him enrolled in those services. His
Okay.
brother is wanting to have him return home. We also connected him with True Mental Health, so once he's released, then he can establish his Medicaid and benefits again, so that way he can get enrolled in services with them. Corazon is also involved with him as well, so as we were considering as a backup, for Town Twin Village, but it may take some time, so if things don't work out with his brother when he's with his brother at the
Mhm.
beginning, then, that will be another.
I love Town Twin Village. I had a chance to do a walkthrough. It's a beautiful place.
It's really nice, but we're hoping that everything will be okay when he stays with his brother and he'll follow up with his medication and get back with case management.
All right, Mr. Payne, we're gonna bring you back on Thursday since you have an interview tomorrow. So we'll bring you back on Thursday, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And here's the thing. When you're released,
Yes, ma'am.
you need to make sure that you contact people. You just can't disappear, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You're looking good, though.
Thank you.
Who's here on Ashley Peel? All right, so where are we on this case as far as discovery?
I think we're fine on discovery. Today was a plea deadline. We have a plea offer. We are not closing.
All right, how long do y'all expect this trial to last?
It is.
All right, Miss Ferguson, I need a 2-day jury trial date. It's Ashley Peel. You can do a jury trial or a bench trial. What I can tell you with a bench trial, that means it comes to me. If the state proves their case beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm gonna find you guilty. If they don't, I'm gonna find you not guilty. Jury trial or bench trial.
We may very well consider a bench trial, Judge.
All right, so,
You agree with that, Ashley?
so do you want a bench trial or jury trial?
Bench trial, if that expedites matters, yes.
All right, Miss Ferguson, a bench trial.
I think the July 7th, Judge.
July 7th?
Sure.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you excuse and make sure you've done an acknowledgement of discovery.
I will.
All right, thank you. All right, who is here on Aaron Joseph Mendez Trevino? All right, if you'll come forward, please. All right, I know you all are set for jury trial, but I know the state just finished with the jury trial.
Yes, ma'am.
If you want a jury trial, I'll give you a jury trial. But if you all want to pass, you're more than welcome to pass.
We can work something out.
Oh, you have?
And it's gonna be pre-trial, and so pre-trial diversion. And I think that Mr. Osgood would just need a consent to get the application in.
And get the contract signed. We can get that done this week.
See, you know what? Mentally, I was picking up on that, but I said, you know what? Let me not assume anything. All right, Norma, I need a PTD date, please. So how's it going today?
Good, man. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Uh,
PTD is good for you. Take advantage of it, okay? And don't come back to court after this, all right?
That's the goal, Judge. I'm gonna be working with him.
Okay.
The 29th works. That's
All right, how old are you?
18. I just graduated high school.
All right, so what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
So right now, I'm currently looking for my cousin. He's a boss of a company, Science. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's a fire equipment technology. So it's like he installs fire equipment for like big corporations like
Okay.
hospitals, prisons, and stuff like that. So
All right,
looking,
so,
I'm looking to get in there, but because I'm dealing with this, it's
all right, so this is what I need you to do. Sometimes when you're waiting for things to happen and you're looking, you look up, your attorney will tell you this, and before you know it, 10 years have passed and you're still where you are. So make sure that you do everything you can to get to where you want to be, all right? All right, once you sign the reset form, your excuse.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Judge.
Ryan Westbrook,
Good morning, Judge. How are you this morning?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Neil Kalfas on behalf of Mr. Westbrook.
And why is Mr. Westbrook, why are you late for court?
Well, because I didn't know I had court today.
All right. I don't know why that would not be the case because we had a hearing on May 27th and it was set for June 23rd.
Yes, I know, but I had mistake the thing, but and I live on the other side of town.
I'm sorry, what?
I mistake the time, you know what I'm saying? So the date.
Like what time you thought you were supposed to be
No, I
in?
mean, the time is always the same, but I said I mistake the date, Your Honor. I had a mistake in the date because I was watching movies with my kid last night.
Sorry, what?
I didn't remember it was Monday today.
All
It was
right.
an honest mistake, Your Honor, sorry.
No, I understand what you're saying. But let me just tell you, some judges, you're late, it's a warrant for your arrest. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You need to be on time.
I will, Your Honor.
All right, so on this case, jury trial, what are we doing?
We've conferred with the state judge and they've made an offer to us. I've relayed that offer to Mr. Westbrook and he is not real excited about the offer, but I mean, it's a pretty serious case. And so I think for the time being, you probably need to send us to another setting for a jury trial, if you will.
Oh, yeah. So this has been going on since April. So if you are rejecting the state's offer, this is going to trial. And the court will not consider any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you have to enter a plea open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You can do a bench trial or jury trial. Here's the thing, with a bench trial, if the state agrees to a bench trial, if they prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm going to find you guilty. If they don't, I'm going to find you not guilty. So do you want a bench trial or a jury trial?
You want a bench trial or a jury trial?
Well, I mean, I'm telling you, if the state proves their case beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm going to find you guilty.
You better.
If they don't prove it, I'm going to find you not guilty. For the court, you could be charged with murder. Guess what? If you come to me for a bench trial, if the state proves their case beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm going to find you guilty. If they don't, I'm going to find you not guilty.
We better stick with no offense to this court, but
Yeah.
you're probably smarter than, not probably, most definitely smarter than the average jury. We better go with the jury trial judge.
Jury trial. yes.
Jury trial, okay.
Sorry about that.
No problem. All right, I'm sure this case won't be that long.
Should be only.
All right. All right, Ms. Ferguson, 2 days, jury trial date.
Not for me.
State, August 5th.
I would get that, Judge, and just so your court knows, I know last time we were here, you said you were interested in the resides, but the state did make a new offer to you that has never been tendered.
All right, so this is what I'll do. I'm gonna give you 2 dates. How old are you?
You know, 35 years old, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm gonna recall this for June 26th. That's Thursday for your plea deadline date. If an offer or an agreement is not reached at that time, then your jury trial date is gonna be what date, Norma? August what?
August 5th.
August 5th. So you're gonna have 2 court dates. You need to make sure you're here on June 26th, and you need to make sure you're here on August 5th. If you are late on June 26th, warrant's gonna be issued.
Yes, ma'am. I will have to get it. Sorry about that.
All right, no problem. All right, is there anything else?
Not from the defense judge.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
Thank you, Judge. Pleasure seeing you.
And counsel, are there any applications in this case?
No, they are not, Your Honor.
All right, the court is calling 2025 CR 005519 State versus Jose Morales Jr. Could I have parties announce?
Marshall B. White from Mr. Jose Morales Jr., the defendant in this case, Your Honor.
All right, and are you Mr. Morales? Counsel, have you received all the discovery?
I am satisfied at this time, Your Honor.
And did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Morales, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Aye.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, off the record for a moment. If you'll just give it to the deputy, we're back on the record. Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm sorry, not sign it, but did you understand it and review it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the
In
indictment?
this case, Your Honor, we are not going to waive the reading of indictment. I believe it needs to be corrected.
Yes, Judge, I do have a motion to amend, regarding the element, the prior felony, the date needs to be corrected to the 31st day, and the year needs to be corrected to 2014.
All right, any objections to those amendments?
No, there are not, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Morales, do you understand that those are substantive changes to the indictment?
You gotta speak up, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you understand that your attorney has 10 days to prepare for trial with changes to the indictment that are substantive?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, knowing that, do you still wish to proceed?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Then the motion to amend the indictment will be granted, and and the court will note for the record that it's been agreed to by the defense. And counsel, you're not requesting any extra time to prepare.
No, I'm not. I just want to make sure the indictment, is read into the record and reflects accurately what the state's motion is.
All right. State, would you like to read the indictment then into the record? Do you need my copy or you have?
On or about February 9th, 2025, Jose Morales Jr., here at first class defendant, did then and there come to conviction of the felony offense of burglary of a building on the 31st day of March, 2014, and cause number 2014 CR 1166W, and the 227th District Court of Fair County, Texas, intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly possessed a firearm after the anniversary of the defendant's release from confinement following conviction of the felony, and the defendant's possession of the firearm occurred at in his vehicle, which was a location other than the premises at which the defendant lived.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Morales, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? You're charged with unlawfully possession of a firearm by a felon. That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you were giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Morales, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine and no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it
Yes,
in
ma'am.
both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
There are no such motions, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
State office states one.
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Respectfully ask the court to follow the plea bargain agreement that Mr. Morales has entered into with the state of Texas.
All right, Mr. Morales, I'm going to sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. And I'll request the therapeutic community for you. It doesn't increase the time that you're in custody, but it may be able to help you with any issues you may have. And I'm just requesting it based upon what I read in the police report, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did you review the trial court certification of defendants' rights to appeal with your attorney?
That's what you read.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, listen very carefully. You're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
I'm 31.
All right, your life is about to start passing by quickly. Once you pass 29, the years just roll by. Your attorney will tell you, although he's only, what, 23?
Yeah, something like that.
The years go by so quickly and you look up, half of your life is gone. So you're gonna have to make some changes. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck. All right, who's here on Jose Cervantes?
I'm here, Judge.
All right, Mr. Cervantes. So he's scheduled for jury trial.
Yes, Judge. We wanted to inform the court, we have come to a resolution on the case of to due time. However, he has immigration issues. I've been talking with Ms. Teresa Davila, that's her name, I believe.
Teresa Costa.
Yeah, I was trying to have video call with him on Thursday, Friday, didn't happen at the jail. She needed specific information about his immigration status, which I can now supply to her. So we'd like to come back in maybe a
Thursday?
week, or, I mean, I'm just trying to consider her schedule to get us an
I'm sure
immigration.
she'll be able to get something to him before Thursday. I mean, because based upon the nature of the charges, if there's not going to be
Mhm.
something completely different, he's getting deported.
And Thursday, I mean, Thursday's gonna be fine.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, recall this for Thursday for disposition.
Yes, sir.
All right, they'll bring you back on Thursday.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna come back on Thursday. I'm gonna talk to the immigration agent.
Hello. All right, court is calling 2025 CR 003632, State versus Noah, is it Koch?
Oh, Coke.
Coke. Can I have parties announced?
Megan Galloway for the state.
And Eric DeWalt, I represent Noah Patrick Cope.
And are you Mr. Coke?
Yes.
Is there any applications?
There is not, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery.
Evidence by my signature, yes, Your Honor.
Oh, I need your bar number on there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Coke, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Coke, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with arson with intent to damage a habitation or place of worship. The range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Koch, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine and no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
This.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
State offer states one in attachment.
Your Honor, we've had an opportunity to go over that in its entirety. No objections to its admittance.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, after much deliberation and talking with my client, his mother's in the courtroom with him, understanding the plea that we're entering, we'd ask that you follow the state's plea.
All right. So, do you know why you did this?
I was out of pain and anger. I found my husband with somebody else. And I made the wrong choice on, instead of just leaving, I came back.
Okay. Yeah, when you are in relationships and people are dishonest or disloyal, you only have 2 choices. Either you accept it and forgive them, or either you just say, you know what, I'm not going to accept you, and this relationship is over. And now they're going on about their business and you have this criminal charge, okay? Is there any issues needed with mental health or anything of that nature?
Possibly, Your Honor.
All right. So this is what the court will do. The court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 6 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served.
Thank you, Your Honor.
There's a $2,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. I'm going to request the therapeutic community. And your relationship with this person is over. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. And that would be Acuna?
Acuna.
Okay. So I'll put in no contact with Marco Acuna. So that way, if he reaches out to you, you can say, hey, the judge won't let me have contact.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to your attorney, okay? All right, good luck to you. You're
Can we be
welcome.
excused at this time, Your Honor?
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Who's here on Sadat, Sandoval? All right, are you all ready to proceed on the motion?
Yes, Judge.
Court is calling 2018 CR 12679 State versus Stephanie Sandoval. Can I have parties announced?
Jason Deerham for the state, Your Honor.
It's Fernando Cortez from Ms. Sandoval, Your Honor.
And are you Ms. Sandoval?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision and state's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke probation with your attorney? And did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Stephanie Sandoval who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2018 CR 12679 for the offense of assault peace officer judge on October 4th, 2019 for a period of 6 years and extended a total of 2 years?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 22 on or about the 9th day of May 2025 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant Stephanie Sandoval, they did and never failed to participate in the felony drug court program. as ordered by the court in violation of condition number 22.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, we'll waive the remaining violated condition.
Any objections to the waivers?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 22, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Judge.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 22?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 22 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There's a proposed agreement that's unagreed to, Judge. The state's recommendation is to deny the motion, continue on defer, and to have her attend safe.
And defense?
Which at the top evaluation is recommending ISF, also safety, but ISF, and also an intensive outpatient treatment is an option also based on the top evaluation. I believe that this individual is probably more related to alcohol. I would ask the court to put her on a scram unit. Go ahead and allow her through her insurance to get the intensive outpatient treatment and continue. She would probably be done unless, she gets extended in October. She has a 3-year-old child also being cared for by the mother-in-law. This is a tragic case where her husband deceased during this probationary period and caused some serious trauma to this individual. I would just ask the court, she doesn't have any history of drugs or violence. She does have a DWI. That's why I'm suggesting a scram unit just to monitor the alcohol and see if I believe she's serious about this. If she is, it'll be found out very quickly. The scram unit gonna know that you're drinking, anything like that. I think that's mostly the problem here.
But I mean, felony drug court was gonna solve that problem. She didn't want them to solve it.
She's probably rolling in her right head. But
Yeah.
I bet after 55 days in jail right now, it kind of does something to your brain. And I
No, because
believe-
see, here's the thing. People can't write their own programs. If people could write their own programs, you wouldn't be here. And you've been on this probation since 2018. There's nothing else for the court to help you with. I mean, I offered you to help, you don't want it. The help was felony drug court and you didn't want it. So where we are now is the court is going to grant the motion, find you guilty and revoke. Does anyone wish to speak to time?
We'll defer to the court, Judge.
Well, only I would ask the court to consider the ISF, Judge. That's a significant treatment. See how she does with that. I mean, it's something that the court can do that goes beyond felony drug court. This is more than that. And we're asking the court then to do more than that and give her the ISF.
Felony drug court is very intensive and she could have been doing that outpatient. So the court is going to sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. The court will request the therapeutic community and I'll retain jurisdiction. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Your Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
No.
You have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. And your attorney will explain to you what it means that I'm keeping jurisdiction. All right, thank you. Hello.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Is this criminal trial division or family violence?
It's a CTD case, Your Honor.
All right, so they just finished jury trial.
Yes, ma'am.
So they're a little bit tired and the next section that's up for jury trial is family violence.
Understood.
So if y'all want the trial, I'll put them back to trial, or if y'all want to pass to.
We will, for some specific reasons, I think it would actually be helpful to do that. So that we can continue to confirm.
All right. So how long do y'all expect this trial to last?
Oh, I would say this is probably a 2-day trial.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, 2 days? All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 2-day reset for jury trial in this criminal trial division. So here's the thing, you can do a bench trial or you can do a jury trial. If you do a bench trial, if the state proves their case beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm gonna find you guilty. If they don't, I'm gonna find you not guilty. So it's completely up to you.
I mean, obviously.
All right, your jury trial date, I'll make your jury trial date and plea deadline date for August 5th.
Wonderful. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you.
Have a good
Appreciate your
week.
time.
All right, thank you. You too. All right. Let me see here.
Gonna bring it back, so we're gonna give you.
All right, so you all were being brought back to confer on a jury trial date?
Judge, if the court remembers, I was appointed last setting,
Yes.
took over for Mr. Lyles. And in the process, it was a short reset, it's
Mhm.
only like a week or so, but I've reviewed a ton of stuff and there's a little bit more like CPS records that potentially have exculpatory information, so I still need to review that. And then I'd be in a much better position to ask about a trade.
Okay, and do you have the CPS records in your possession?
Not that I know of.
Your Honor, we did hand over those records to the previous defense attorney. I'm happy to make another copy.
Yes, if you could.
I can.
Yeah.
All right,
We'll coordinate it, Judge.
all right. So if this were a jury trial, how long would it take?
At least for the state's case in chief, at least 3 days.
All right. This is what I want you all to do. I want you all to confer with Norma on a jury trial date, and the jury trial date and the plea deadline date will be the same date, unless you want it brought over sooner. So if you confer with her on a jury trial date. All right, thank you.
We'll get that. Thank you,
All right,
Judge.
Thank you. You're welcome.
What is it, sir?
Ambrosio Cabrera. Who's the attorney?
Judge, we're about to start paperwork, it's right there.
All right, thank you. That's paperwork. Yes, have a seat.
I'm safe.
Marlon Daniels. All right. All right, so what I can tell you, sir, is criminal trial division just finished up with the jury trial. So if you all want your jury trial, I will give it to you, but family violence is up first.
Okay. Well, I have an expert in this case who is not available right now, but his name is Tom Pittman. He's a PhD
So do
toxicologist.
you want a continuance? Are you ready for
do.
trial? All right, let's go on the record. Court is calling 2024 CR 009218 State versus Marlon Daniels. Could I have parties announced?
George Sharman on behalf of the defense.
And are you Mr. Daniels?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, off the record, defense, you're saying that you're requesting a continuance,
I am.
and that's due to your expert's availability or unavailability?
That's correct.
All right, state, do you have any objections to their motion for continuance? Their oral motion for continuance?
No, you're.
All right, so if you all confer with Ms. Ferguson on a jury trial date, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Thank you. And once you have the date, let me know what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Judge, the other one was.
Just had a food.
All right, thank you. So, on this case, just 1 second.
What we did, Judge, is she entered a plea on the new number one,
Mhm.
reset us to determine whether or not she was adequate for drug court.
Mhm.
And I checked with the probation officer, they said she would have to apply for drug court.
I mean, isn't that what we've been waiting for?
That's not what it was reset for, Judge. You wanted a status on whether or not she was eligible for drug court, and I was informed that she would have to apply for drug court.
All right, Norman, did you do a referral for felony drug court on this case?
It's on Tesley, Lisa Tesley.
She was on probation, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. See what Sean would do that, Judge, but I think it's the following.
All right, just 1 moment. All right, Norma,
Yes.
we're gonna recall this for Thursday. Are you available on Thursday, counsel?
Judge, I'm supposed to start a trial the 4:37, but I can probably try to come here first, because usually trials start around 10:30.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So they're gonna bring you back Thursday. Just have a CR, Lisa. Thanks, Judge.
All right, thank you. Yes. And I sent them an email letting them know to please, if possible, expedite.
Yes, Bianca said she can do it right now.
Okay,
Great.
you're welcome. All right, who is here on Francis Rigby?
Ready, you are.
Court is calling 2025 CR 0049998 State versus Francis Rigby. Can I have parties announced?
Valley versus State.
Report, Ms. Rigby.
And are you Ms. Rigby?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, sir.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Are there any applications?
No, Judge.
Ms. Rigby, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, you're right.
No, Judge.
All right, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did.
You understand that the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of deadly conduct as a Class A misdemeanor. The range of punishment is up to a $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses. The state would call in the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you are giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do not.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Rigby, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on deadly conduct. Your punishment is to be assessed at 292 days in the Bexar County Jail. There's a $2,000 fine, no applications. This is run concurrent with 2024 CR 00898W and County Court Cause number 692199. And the state is taking into consideration 2025 CR 007402. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes.
State. Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motion?
No.
Then to the lesser included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence. All right, state you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, that you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent.
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there would be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
The judge respectfully requests the court follow.
All right. Having a bad day?
No, I'm sort of, yes, nervous.
No, I mean about this
Oh,
incident.
but I said, yeah, I was having a bad day.
All right, how do you?
Like, I was like somebody was saying that when he was talking to me, like something told me to get up and do, I did.
Well, here's the thing. People always tell me in the United States, people are very loud on their phones. Not everyone wants to hear your conversation.
Yes, I
Not
know.
everyone wants to hear the same music that you hear.
Yes, that's
But
true.
most importantly, I have a question. And this is just, I want to know the answer to it. How do you keep a knife in your bra without getting cut?
Oh, because it's a thing where you press it. It's
Oh, and it
press
switches
it.
open.
It
Okay.
switches open.
Well, you better hope it never opens.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not gonna carry nothing no more, man.
Okay.
I promise, I'm not.
All righty.
I'm gonna start my business.
Okay, the court is going to sentence you to 292 days in the Bear County Jail. Give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. And this will run concurrent with 2024 CR 00894 and County Court Cause number 692199. Take in consideration 2025 CR 00740 Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
Oh, yeah.
All right, did you review the trial court certification of defendants' rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Make better choices.
Sure will.
All right, thank you. All right, the court is calling CM 117167 State versus Ambrosio Cabrera. Can I have parties announced?
Andrea Crespo for the state, Your Honor, ready to proceed?
Robert Barrett for Mr. Cabrera, has the court considered my request?
Yes.
And I'm sending in for Samantha Brown.
All right, and then this motion to seal, I am going to sign it. And this is supposed to, it's listed as defense copy, but this is the original.
Right.
So if you would like a copy.
I have a copy.
I may have accidentally put the sticker on there, Judge, apologies.
No problem.
I gave you a copy as well, right?
Maybe I turned it in with the paperwork, maybe that's why. you had it.
Yeah, so it's in here and it was,
Is it attached to the
Should be put attached
vanilla
to the-
envelope?
no.
So that is
That was
defense
my.
copy.
All right.
So the original.
Oh,
is
let me
a-
write copy on that since I signed it.
The original should be attached to the envelope.
Here you go.
And so I did,
No problem. All right, thank you.
Judge, were you granting my request or?
No.
Okay.
All right, counsel, have you received all discovery?
Yes, Judge.
And did you review it with your client?
I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Cambria, did you review the document entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you have a right to have a grand jury review the evidence in this case and make a decision on whether or not to hold you over for trial. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And your attorney has certain rights. He has from the presentation of the information, 2 days, and he also has 10 days to prepare for trial. By entering into this plea bargain agreement, you're giving up those rights. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're also giving up the right to have the information read to you. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Then the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review the application for deferred adjudication or community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you review the information with your attorney and understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, you waive the reading of the information?
We do.
State, are you proceeding on the information as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the court's admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, based upon what you're charged with, the range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court would have granted your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, off the record, can I have a file stamp, please? All right, we're back on the record. So that the record can be clear, the court called this case under a CM number. And the CM number was CM number 117167. And the case number in here, pre-indictment case number is 2025 CR 007438W. Those are the same cause numbers. Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I believe he's confident enough.
All right. And do you believe he was sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, my honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. There's a $5,000 fine. There's no application for community supervision. The state is opposed to your application for deferred adjudication. There's to be Chapter 62 compliance, and they reserve the right to request additional conditions if community supervision is granted. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you understand that the state is opposed to your receiving probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand that if the court were to give you probation, then the state is going to request perhaps additional conditions.
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand that ultimately, if the court were to grant your application for probation and the state were to make requests for conditions, it will be up to court to decide whether or not to follow those conditions. Did you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, no.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty, Your Honor.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor, the state offers States Exhibits 1 and attachments and States Exhibits 2 and attachments and request, and I believe the court has signed the motion to seal pursuant to States Exhibit 2, Your Honor.
All right, and that order to seal has been signed, and I'm assuming you know objections to the court ordering that it be sealed.
No objection.
All right, did you review the waiver and consent to stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. All right, we'll be back for sentencing. You're requesting a PSI?
Yes, Judge.
All right, we'll be back for sentencing on August 18th. The court will base its decision on whatever evidence that's presented. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if you'll confer with probation, and do you need a TAP evaluation as well or no? For your client?
I don't think so, Judge. I don't think there's any issue in that regard.
All right, so just the PSI probation. All right, thank you.
Maybe excused?
Yes. All right, Feliciano Mora.
Yes, Your Honor. May I approach?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Mora, you can unmute now.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. The court is calling 2025 CR 006010 State versus Feliciano Mora. Can I have parties announced?
Andrew Harrison, state.
Victoria Cruz on behalf of Raymond Martinez for the defense.
And are you Mr. Mora?
Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes, Your
right.
Honor.
Mr. Mora, do you have any objections to this attorney standing in to hear this motion?
No, ma'am.
All right, and defense, any objections to your client appearing by Zoom?
No, Your Honor.
State, any objections to the defendant appearing by Zoom?
No.
And Mr. Mora, do you have any objections to appearing by Zoom?
No, ma'am. No,
All
Your
right, so defense, you are requesting a bond, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Original bond amount was 5,000 on the 1 to 4, 3,500 on the possession of marijuana, 4 ounces to 5 pounds. Defendant was late on Friday. And was remanded on Monday.
All right, and so with regards to the cause number, sorry, one moment. And we're also on the record in 2025 CR 006011. Is there an agreement with regards to bond amounts?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. Stated defense agreed to reinstate the original amounts.
Okay, and I'm so sorry. And the cause number ending in 11, what's the bond amount?
Is that the 1 to 4, Your Honor, or the?
Yes, 1 to 4.
5,000.
And the cause number ending in 10?
For the marijuana, 3,500.
All right, Mr. Mora, can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes.
Solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Feliciano Mora.
All right, so you were remanded without bond. Is there a reason you did not appear?
I didn't get the letter, ma'am. I didn't know nothing about it. And when my bonds called me, I showed up as fast as possible. Like I literally, I have mail, my UPS app, and it showed that the letter got there the day I was arrested. So I was already in court. I was already in court when I got the letter. I have UPS. I have a app that shows the letter, like literally put photo of the app showing that I got it right when I was already arrested.
All right, so we can go off the record. Who's his bondsman? His previous bondsman?
I'm not sure, Your Honor, but we're gonna assume the bond. Oh, we're gonna post the bond.
Oh, okay, because I didn't know if y'all wanted to call the bondsman and see if the bondsman will reinstate the bond.
No, we're gonna cover the bond, Your Honor. Previous court appointed was Robert Geyer.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, we're back on the record. Mr. Mora, have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental health issues?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever been on any type of medication for mental health?
No, ma'am.
All right, in the past, have you ever used any type of controlled substance?
No, ma'am. Just marijuana.
All right, this is what the court will do. The court will follow your agreement. In 2025 CR 006011, the court will set your bond amount at $5,000. And there's to be 30 sober meetings
Yes, ma'am.
in 30 days. And in the cause number 2025 CR 006010, the bond amount will be $3,500. And again, 30 sober meetings in 30 days. And the conditions of bond will run concurrently. All right, we're off the record. So counsel, have you received any discovery in either of these cases?
No, Your Honor, we were just hired this morning.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Can I have a reset date in 20 days, please?
I can't hear him, man.
I'm coming, sir. I'm only.
Works for us.
All right, so you're gonna be back in court on July 10th and you need to be here at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And would I be released today?
I'm not in charge of your release, but I can tell you that your bondsman is gonna post the bond. And
Okay.
then whatever their process is at the jail, I don't have any control over that.
Okay, yes, okay. Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. All right, who's here on Roman Flores?
Here, Your Honor.
All right, today's plea deadline date,
Sort of. Well, if I can explain, Judge, so he ended up with a new number one charge, possession with intent, which is a 15 to life offense.
Mhm.
Robert Featherston has been appointed to that case. I didn't realize that we even had it until here. I've been off the wheel for about 4 months. What I was actually hoping the court would see fit, and I just talked to Robert, is to appoint him to all the cases, and he'll be here tomorrow. And it's a chance they may be able to work out a global offer.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, recall him for tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, and then
Are you okay?
see if Mr. Featherston, he's fine with being placed on all cases?
Yes, ma'am. I just talked to him. He's on, again, the 15 to life offense. I know nothing about it. And again, Judge, I've been off the wheel for about 4 months now, so just
Okay.
trying to work through my backlog.
Okay. All right, Norma, and if you'll put Mr. Featherston on that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. All right, are you already on Fatima Leonore?
We're already done.
All right, if you'll come forward. And then is she a citizen?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, and do you need an immigration attorney or no?
I will, Judge, but not at this time.
We started the process soon. So are you appointed, retained?
Appointed, Judge.
All right, so we can have Mac have an immigration attorney to guide you with regards to immigration issues.
Sure, Judge, that's fine.
All right, so Norma, if you'll let Mac know on this case, there needs to be immigration.
Yes, ma'am. The links. And then the information.
All right, and then the court has signed the protective order for the CPS records.
That's correct, Judge. And I do have now the CPS records.
Okay. All right, is there any other outstanding discovery? Any medical? I don't know anything about this case other than what the charges are. So do we know if there's medical?
Judge, I do have, and I've gone through the state's record. There are medical records. We're going to continue going through what discovery we have.
Okay.
If there's anything missing, I'll let the state know before we sign the discovery acknowledgement.
All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
if you'll put this for discovery and we'll put it at the beginning of August.
Yes,
I
sir.
think that should get everybody time. All right, I need an August date, beginning.
Yes.
Is that a good date?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, we'll come back on August 4th. Is there anything else for the court?
It's not from defense counsel.
All right. All right, do you have any questions?
No.
All right, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Could be way better.
Oh, well, I mean, it always can get better.
So,
But you know, the key is we have to figure out why we are in the position we're in. And then once we figure that out, we figure out is it just that I'm in the position that I'm in? And then we change our choices, right? And make better choices. So I had you brought over today. I was actually gone last week because I had to speak at a seminar, but you were brought over because I received word from the staff that your relatives were concerned about you at the jail. So has that issue been addressed?
I believe so, Judge. I know that in speaking with him today, he does feel more comfortable in the pod that he's currently in. He also notified me that within the jail, he's going to be taking anger management as well as basic employment skills. So we're hoping that anger management class can help alleviate some of his issues that he may be having internally, as well as perhaps with other inmates there at the jail. I know that originally he was maybe being ordered to DDRF, but I do know that in speaking with the probation office that it may be amenable for a recommendation to state ISF, which would have a significantly less wait time for him to get over there. So he was happy to hear the news of a possible shorter waits to get into treatment, so he can have the resources to be successful. And I did encourage him to really hone in on those anger management classes as well as the basic employment skills while he's waiting transfer to state ISF. So something to keep his mind occupied, something to work on while he's waiting, and then for him to get that opportunity at state ISF and run with that opportunity, learn as much as he can, so we can hopefully one day be back in the community and be able to be compliant with the rules and conditions of probation.
Probation.
That is correct, Judge. So he was found medically ineligible to proceed with DDRF.
Okay.
And we just received word of that. So Mr. Crum just signed the paperwork we needed to complete his state ISF packet. Did notate that we did tell them that the current wait time is approximately 45 days
Okay.
for state ISF, and gave them the program link as well.
All right. So then we'll alter them in to state ISF.
Well, Judge, you've already signed conditions.
Oh, I did?
to go to
Okay.
State ISF.
If he didn't meet the criteria for DDRF, so there's nothing for me to sign?
No, Judge.
Okay. And then when he's released from state ISF, we'll need him brought back to court because there are other things that are going on
Sure.
where he was, I think, with a girlfriend, they had a child, there were issues. And so there's currently a no contact order with Brooklyn Chrome and no contact with minors. And he's not allowed in Waco, Texas. So,
He, Judge, and you also put him on GPS upon his release. from
yes,
Whatever facility he goes to.
yes.
Okay, I see, Your Honor. So it'll be more of a status check to see if the conditions need to be maybe amended at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll be available for that hearing, Your Honor.
All right, awesome. So, Ms. Abrams, just as soon as he's released from ISF, we'll have a hearing for him to be back here.
Yes, Judge.
Is there something else you need?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
Do you have any further concerns with the jail as far as, since you're in a different pod now?
I know ever since, I think the 8th of this month, I was assaulted by a guard. I know that, and then they took away all my commissary. They threw me in a lockdown pod, and then told my mom and that I wasn't in a lockdown pod. And they told me my fingers were broken, and he punched me in my face. And
Well, on that, if there's an issue, you need to file a report. But what I can tell you is if you're placed on lockdown or in a pod, it's because they're saying that there's been some violation of a rule or condition. I don't know because I'm not at the jail. Your attorney can look into seeing if there was a violation or a rule condition. And I do know that usually, or the legal process as jail is supposed to be, if there is a violation of an infraction, you're going to request a hearing. And then they'll have a hearing. And sometimes when you have those hearings, they'll lessen the days that you have on lockdown. But they are allowed to take your commissary, not allow you to have visitation. But they cannot deny you food. They can't deny you at least an hour outside of your pod. But in that hour, you have certain choices you can make. Do you want to do a shower as a part of that hour? You don't get an hour outside your cell plus a shower. All of that is included. You understand? So you'll need to talk to your attorney, and your attorney can look at whatever documentation if there's an issue at the jail. Okay.
otherwise, thank you for my second chance, and
All right, you better use it and run with it.
I'm my best, Your Honor. I'm back on my meds, so.
Yeah, but here's the thing, people go off their meds, and I keep telling them, don't go off your meds. If there is a side effect, you need to let somebody know.
No.
All righty. Well, your attorney can let your parents know that you're okay. All right, you're welcome. Thank you. All right, who's here on Jonathan Bazone? Bazzadoni. There's an I at the end.
Yeah, Bazzadoni.
Bazzadoni, come down. When I say the last name, I want to do this because it sounds very Italian.
Does, I was.
Is that
curious.
Italian or is that not Italian?
Is it Italian?
Yeah, it's part of time, it's, it's, the old name, yeah.
Bazzadoni.
It's
See,
Donnie.
yeah, sometimes, when you're doing the Italian names or trying to do them, for some reason, your voice pitch goes higher and you do this with it. I don't know why. All right, court is calling 2025 CR 004832 State versus Jonathan Herrera Bazzadoni. Could I have parties announced?
Ashley Jones for the state.
Renee Munoz on behalf of Mr. Bazzaroni.
And are you Mr. Bazzadoni? Counsel, you received all discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Bazzadoni, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, my understanding is that we would be waiving the repeat offender enhancement allegation.
That is correct, Your Honor. No objection by the defense.
All right, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, sir.
You're charged with assault, family, household with a previous conviction as a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you enter a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you were giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counselor, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
That is correct.
Mr. Bazzandi, did anyone threaten you, coerce you, or place you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promise you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine, no applications. This will run concurrent with 2025 PF 0279719. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, and there's to be no contact with Cheryl Ann Hernandez and Mary Jane Bazzadoni. Did you understand that to be the plea? Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition? Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent? Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea?
Yes.
Defense is at the plea?
Yes.
State is at the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead?
No contest.
State any evidence.
First State's Exhibit 1 in all attachments.
No objection.
All right, and state, have you had contact with the complainant?
Your Honor, I believe we've made attempts and previously, yes.
All right, thank you. You may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
If we may, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We ask that you follow the negotiated plea agreements. My client is willing to take responsibility for his actions, learn from them, grow from them, and with the intent of this never ever happening again, Your Honor. So he knows he messed up. He's willing to take accountability, responsibility for it, and we ask that the court follow the plea bargain, Judge.
All right, what do you learned? Because it doesn't appear that you've learned anything.
Well, the thing is that, you know, I can't be doing this for sure, and that, you know, I'm
Doing
not
what?
gonna, not, you know, hassling my mother and everything like that, and
Hassling her
Yeah.
for what?
for money and things like that. That
Why do you
I
need,
should be working on my own.
no,
Um,
why do you need money?
Why do I need money to live?
No,
Everybody needs money to live.
that's
but
not what the police report said.
I really need money to get myself something to eat. And, I want.
That's not what the police report said.
Yes, I know what it said, but my mom always refers me to being a drug user and whatnot. So she blames every ounce of me asking for money in this
How old are you?
manner. I'm 43 years old at the moment.
Why you continue to ask money from your mom?
Because I have no other available income, and I'm not really that like capable. I was I was diagnosed with bipolar, schizoaffective, manic depressive, you know, thing going on with me, and I've been on SSI since I was 13,
Mm-hmm.
and basically I got these charges, and I did the same thing and took my, you know, punishment and did the whole 5 years and whatnot, and
But see, here's the
came
problem.
out,
The problem is
and I couldn't take it 3 years without having my SSI.
But the problem is you
Let's see.
continue to do this. That's the problem. And I'm trying to figure out, how are you going to change your life? Because it doesn't appear that you're ready. And yeah, I'm going to follow your agreement, give you the 3 years. But when you get out in 3 years, it appears that you're going to be right back. And then you're going to be habitual and your minimum is going to be 25 years.
Your Honor, and I spoke with my client, just exactly what the court is talking to him about. The criminal history that he's accruing, as well as the nature of the charges. If he ever comes into contact with law enforcement again, I know that they're gonna have concerns of their own. So I have advised him, and I know he's gonna take the time to think about it at TDC, that he can't raise his hand in anger to anybody, because that's gonna get the attention of law enforcement, and he's gonna be arrested and, you know, subject to the same kind of scenario that we're in, you know, the definition of insanity sort of a thing, you know, definition of insanity, doing the same thing, expecting different results. So I talked with my clients about future scenarios and situations that he incurs, to either walk away, found different avenues for his stressors, so he doesn't remain in this kind of cycle of institutionalization. So I know he's had a lot of time to think about it. He's been in custody, hasn't had the opportunity, ability to bond out. But I know that he knows now that if he ever raises his hand in anger against anybody in a violent way, that he's going to be seeing a lot more of the inside of a jail cell and a prison cell, which he definitely wants to avoid. So we did definitely have that conversation, Your Honor.
All right, so here's the thing. At some point, you're an adult and your mother doesn't have to give you any money. Nobody has to give you any money if they don't want to. You are not someone's dependent for the rest of your life, at least not in this situation. I know there are other cases where people may be someone's dependent, but is your mom able to claim you on her taxes? So, yeah. So there's no need for her to constantly give money to a person of your age. You've got to figure it out. You understand? All right.
I realize that I'm trying to accent that in my mind for when I'm clear and able to be out, you know, on my own, or when I'm going to be on my own sooner or later. I'm gonna have to man up, as they say nowadays, and just take care of my business.
Yeah, you are. And I'm telling you, if there's a drug issue, you need to take care of that as well, because that's what your mom is saying, that you wanted $5 for drugs. All right, the court is finding you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 3 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. This will run concurrent with 2025 PF 02719. No contact with Cheryl Ann Hernandez or Mary Jean Bazzadoni. And there is to be no contact. And the court will recommend the therapeutic community. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Right, because this is a felony conviction, because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, and also because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal, and you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. Thank you, counsel.
Thank you.
Who's here on Abel Favala? We're here for a restitution hearing.
That's correct, Judge.
So do we have anything?
Yes, Judge. I know the state has the business record affidavit from the hospital in connection with this aggravated assault. We are in agreement, and my client is as well, with the payment of the 2790.00.
Okay.
That's the outstanding amount balance that's
All right, and is this to be payable to University Health Systems, or is this to be payable to the complainant?
To the complainant, I believe.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Abrams. On Mr. Favala, the restitution is $2,790. We're going to go on the record. The court is calling 2024 CR 5304 State versus Abel Favala. Can I have parties announced?
Andrew Harris, Alien State.
Renee Munoz on behalf of Mr. Favela.
And are you Mr. Favala?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're here for restitution hearing. The court has received the business records affidavit. And it is my understanding that both parties have agreed that the amount of restitution due to the complainant is $2,790.00. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else?
No, Judge.
Nothing for the defense, Judge.
Yes.
Complaining
I'll have them give it to you. Thank you. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
That what? We can't be done, what? Okay, yay. We'll be back tomorrow.